Hello, hello. How's everybody doing?
Excellent.
Hey.
The
All
most
from Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I was going to say the most loadedest question in the loaded question kingdom. For those of you who celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope that you had a nice Thanksgiving. I hope that your bellies were filled with warm food and you got to spend some time with your family, be it blood or chosen. I spent my Thanksgiving this year with chosen family, and it was lovely and it was wonderful, and zero regrets in that regard. Also, joining us tonight on the stream, peering at my soul from a window behind me, is a new stray cat that is trying to take over my house. We haven't named her yet, but I think that's the next step. Hi, sweetheart. How you doing, baby? She's just staring at me through the window, and it's funny. Her bed's not on this side of the house. Her bed's in the back of the house.
She loves you.
She hears my voice. I think that's what it comes down to.
She hears you and she wants to come in.
She does. She would absolutely come in if I let her come in.
What was the lady Ninja Turtle's name?
Venus de Milo.
Because that would be a great name for a turtle.
Venus.
I didn't know there was a female Ninja Turtle.
Yeah, that actually would be a great name because she's a toy.
Courtney, we discovered a lot today. There's a lot you don't know.
There's so much I don't know. I've never seen like half of the movies that the rest of the world has seen.
So yeah, maybe we have to name her Venus. We'll see.
Thanks for the quick pickup on that deep cut, by the way.
Yeah, no problem.
Impressive.
I am a plethora of useless knowledge. I excel at bar trivia. But that being said, nonetheless, yada yada, etc., etc. Thank you all for joining us tonight. If you're watching this on the YouTubes or on the on-demands, there was a problem with the YouTube upload last week. It uploaded with no audio. And so I took it down. The audio is on the file. I have the file. So I'm going to re-upload it to YouTube tomorrow. And this episode will go up on its regular time on Wednesday. So like 3 or 4 people reached out and they were like, it's on there, but I can't hear anything. So for those of you who reached out, thank you so much for doing that. And I'll figure out what's going on. I was away. I was away for Thanksgiving, so I haven't had a chance to really take a deep look at it, but I will do that tonight, actually. So that being said, let's dive into a quick recap and move forward with tonight's game. So last week, the intrepid band of heroes that you have not named yourselves yet. So we don't have a moniker.
It's early.
For you.
It's early.
I think we're all friends yet.
Yeah, but
yeah. We're not friends.
But for
I'm friends with everybody.
For our heroes, you all went before Watchmaster Norda in Trostenwald, and with the help of a bumbling but somewhat intelligent tiefling by the name of Neva, who is a student at the Solstice Academy, you managed to convince Norda that not only were you innocent and all of this weird and crazy events that are taking place in the town with these mushrooms and this fungus that is growing all over the city, but also that Trostenwald is not the first city that this has taken place in. We learned that Allfield also has had some crop ups of similar circumstances. And in the midst of your conversation with Norda, and through a couple of magical surges from mushrooms growing about, you encountered a couple of quicklings and a red cap wearing very tough, strong shoes that was trying to shin people.
Kick me in the shins for like 15 quarters.
Crazy. And unfortunately, one of Norda's guards had been turned to stone, and after dispatching of the quicklings and the red cap, you found just what looked like his broken, reconstituted arm laying in the hallway of Norda's tower. And when last we left off, she had kind of put you in her employ, at least in the short term, to try to locate her guard and potentially track down as much information as you can regarding these mushrooms. And of course, as you left her tower, two large mushrooms sprouted directly outside of the building. One of them remained untouched. However, one of them did explode, raining down a series of spores on all of you, and we leveled up to our next level. So everybody picked up a level between last game and this game. No long rest has taken place, but we used the mechanic of the spores to magically have that level up take place. So, and that is where we left off, and that is where we will pick up. So standing in the center, or not, you're really on the sort of the eastern border of Trostenwald. Neva is there with you. There's still people like kind of bouncing around in this area. You were headed back towards the docks, if I remember correctly. I think maybe you were headed back towards maybe the Nestle Nook or just the docks in general to look. You guys can kind of pick up with that. But yeah, I will turn the game over to you to do as you wish.
Oh, we were heading back to the docks to look for the disappeared guy. So, what time is it right now? About thereabouts?
You are looking at late afternoon, like probably, you know, in a time frame that you would understand. I'd say like 3-4 o'clock.
Well, I'm thinking
Still
we should-
nice out.
Yeah, because
Take a
remember,
look.
you didn't go to Norda until the afternoon that day. So
Okay.
that's where we are now after combat and everything else took place.
I'm just still really into the fact that somebody just gave me a crossbow. This is really cool.
Yeah.
They're really awesome.
So I think we should go down to the docks and check it out while the trail is still warm.
Yeah, whatever.
I guess. Kind of feels like we're stuck here now. I don't get it. She told us we were employed. I took the little tabard, and she told me I couldn't wear it.
Because it belongs to somebody else.
I think that we're employed as like more like mercenaries. I don't think that we're like official.
Can we be
If I'm-
assassins?
If I'm being honest, I think this whole employment thing is a scam to keep us around so that she can keep an eye on us.
Yeah, but don't we have to go up to Allfield anyway?
Yeah,
Aren't there
but
more mushrooms there?
we got to figure out what happened to the guards.
Yeah, we're not sure if they're just gonna come back or not.
Oh yeah, that one guy lost his arm.
Well, when they're gonna turn up without any clothes on.
Well, make them easier to find.
I mean,
No, because then they gotta go
depends
hide.
on where you hang out, I guess.
So are you guys just walking through Trossenwald at this point?
I'm literally walking and like going.
We're making our way.
As
we're-
we
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
as we do move through town, if Syl notices anybody who's like begging on the street or looking for alms or just kind of in a corner and not, looking so well, basically the impoverished or the struggled, I make it a point to stop literally at every one of them, give them food from breakfast that I took, kind of chat with them, be like, hey, you doing okay? Like, need anything healthy?
He's
So
so lovely.
as you continue or as you walk through Trossenwald heading in that direction, a couple of times you come across some beggars in the street. They welcome whatever food you have to offer them. At least one of them you see sitting down like with a blanket on the ground, and on the blanket you can see some scraps of food, but you also see two brightly colored mushroom caps sitting on top of the blanket.
They're the same.
They look similar, yeah.
I'm probably gonna be like, hey man, let me give you some of this, eat this, health for you. Let me take those. It's not gonna be good.
But they look so delicious.
Yeah, no, like They say put a pig nose on a guy. They turned some people into mice. Guy lost an arm. You're down in
Snake hair.
You don't
Snake hair.
I don't need any more trouble than I'm already in. Fine.
I'll give him a gold coin too. Be like, hey man, clean your act up. Take care of yourself, right?
He takes the coin from you and some of the food that you're offered and literally stands up, leaving the blanket with the mushroom caps and other scraps and stuff that he had behind. And he's like, I'm going to get a bath. And
Go to the Nook. They'll give you a beer too.
Fine. Thank you. And
Yeah,
he
of
can't
course.
run away fast enough.
You want to come? I don't want to touch them. Somebody come pick these up.
They're still on a blanket.
Yeah, we can
Where's
roll them
Neva
up
when you
blanket,
need
but-
him?
Neva.
Yeah,
well,
we just go.
Neva is still with you. Neva
Oh.
comes over.
Oh, I
with-
thought he wasn't.
Yeah, no, he's
That's
still
a
with
problem.
you.
That's.
Neva comes over.
I thought he.
and he
took
kind of
off.
like helps you fold them up into the blanket. And he's like, I'm gonna
Don't touch him.
Remember last time?
yeah. I'm not fine of swine. All right.
We need to
fine.
get you like a beekeeper costume, maybe, and maybe that'll like keep it off of you, and then you can like do whatever you need to do.
Like a
But you can
mage's
still breathe
hand
through the
or something.
front.
No, can't you like pick it up?
Yeah. So
Some people.
you see him kind of you see him reach into a small pouch on the side of his belt and pull out some sort of crushed herbs in his hand, and he kind of like sprinkles it on the ground around the blanket, and he just like taps at the air, and you just hear this ting 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 ting. He's like, that should keep it for at least an hour or two. No one will be able to get through that.
What'd
Leave
you
it there.
do, pig guy?
Just a little protection spell, that's all. Till I can figure out what to do, see if I can figure anything out. Speaking of which, I'm gonna head back to my room and see if I can't touch base with anybody at the academy and share with them anything we might have learned and see if anything else is going on.
All right, just
enough.
remember, PPE, man. It's really important, I think, right now.
It kind of
Who's
just like
PPE?
he grabs the side of
Personal
his cloak.
protective equipment.
Yeah, PPE, personal protective. He grabs the side of his cloak,
Oh.
like puts it in front of his face, and just starts to walk off.
Better than nothing.
So he has left. He's left this sort of like small magical stasis field around this blanket, that seemingly is impenetrable as best you can tell, at least at quick
Yeah.
glance.
And then suddenly it's not at some
Yeah.
point, but
Can I pick it up?
I have a
I-
crossbow, so I don't care.
I'm not familiar with this. I'm gonna poke it.
No, I wanted to pick it up.
The air is stopping it.
Okay, so Horkran, make a strength check for me.
Oh man.
Hey.
Alright,
This
there
is about to go
go.
horribly wrong.
I know.
Hey man, it's a 14.
So you try to like feel around where it meets the ground, and it seems almost seamless where like you can feel this kind of it almost feels like glass, right? Like thick glass, but you could feel where it hits the ground, and as you try to like put your fingers around to maybe find a lip or something to grab, you kind of just pull up, and it literally just like your fingers just slide up the side of it. It's not
Aw,
budging.
man.
There's no chance, at least, that you can grab it.
Hey guys, look, I can levitate, and I'm gonna like do a captain's chair against it against nothingness.
Yeah. You lean back up against it, and it seems to support your weight unbudgingly.
Look, I'm floating in the air. I'm sitting on nothing.
You
This
just
is-
try and pick it up.
No, I
You can
don't
pick
like
it up
these
and throw it.
mushrooms.
Wait, you could throw it at people?
This is like the Avengers trying to pick up Thor's hammer and Tony's
Oh.
rock.
That was the best no I've ever heard, though. No. And I say no a lot. So, like, that was great.
Well, thank you. I just picking it up and sitting against it are a little different. And then I'm going to stand up and
Okay.
not.
I'm gonna.
Because I realize I'm sitting next to what is essentially a chemical bomb.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a dirty bomb. So
Ooh. It'll mutate you real fast.
I think we should get
So,
some distance.
other than the fact that you guys are walking, are you looking out for anything? Are you talking to anybody other than the poor, obviously? Or are you just making your way aimlessly towards the docks?
I'm also like when I'm talking to these people, I'm also sort of loosely scraping for just the rumor. What's the
Yeah.
gossip?
Okay.
Good.
All right. Do me a favor. Just make a performance check for me. Or just give me a charisma, unless you have a bonus to performance.
I can give you charisma. I don't have a performance.
Give me a charisma check.
I'm your charisma bomb right here.
Sure. 17 for
Yeah.
charisma.
So, between the fact that you're being like good natured and giving these people food, and just like your overall sort of pleasant demeanor, these people don't seem to have a problem talking to you. Like, I know that your demeanor isn't always pleasant, but when you seem to have a soft spot when dealing with those less fortunate, and they kind of pick up on that vibe. Like, you're not a threat. You're not
Pleasant as fuck.
You're not running them through the ringer. You know what I mean? You're not the Crown's Guard interrogating them.
Yeah, no, I got their back. Sucks.
Yeah. And they pick up on that vibe, and so because of that, you pick up on a couple of different things, right? These mushrooms have sprouted up in a couple of other spots around town. There was one area over by the wineries where like an entire row of vines just withered to ash and died. And there was another area where literally just a sinkhole opened up and lava bubbled out from the ground underneath it. There was a group of children that were transformed into mice and scurried off into the woods. And at least as far as, people have talked about so far, no one has actually seen them come back. And you also hear about a half naked man like running through the streets, missing an arm, heading towards the old Mudhole Tavern, which is this real like dive bar, hole in the wall,
I mean, if I lost an arm, that seems like a good place to be.
That's right.
I wonder when he turned from stone back into human, did it just like gush blood all of a sudden? Or
They're
like,
like-
somehow
It just
cauterized,
like,
or,
yeah. But it just like becomes a stub.
like
like
a
a-
broken piece of him, like a
Yeah.
stub, like an amputation, or is it just like all of a sudden a wound? That
Yeah.
What about and what about the arm that was left behind? Does it turn back to person once it broke off?
I
Yeah,
think
is
it
it
was
like-
meat. It
Well,
was
it
very
did.
much meat when
So
we
it's
had
like
it.
Yeah,
It's-
the arm that had fallen off, had already turned back to flesh. When you guys had found it.
But
Regarding
was it in a pool of blood? Did the blood just openly flow out of it, or what's going on with
no,
that? How
there
do we-
was no blood.
all right, so it's like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, there was
We
no
got
blood.
Pirates of the Caribbean here going on. Okay.
So, what that means, and as far as you can tell, like no one has said that this guy was running through the streets trailing blood, and certainly like you haven't seen like blood spattered anywhere. And I would say that like
He wouldn't
just
make it very.
right, and common knowledge, like from where you are to even just the docks, even if you don't know where the old mud hole is, even just to the docks, that like it's a decent enough distance where, like, right, he's not making it very far he's not making it very far if he's bleeding out the entire time.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
mean,
guess
think
we
you
would have
can-
seen it too, right? Like leaving the thing. If
I
we found
mean-
his
That's what I
thumb.
mean. Like you guys
Yeah.
have not picked up on a trail of blood anywhere or anything like that. So
I guess if he's running for the bar instead of the doctor, he's doing somewhat all right.
Yeah, but
I'm pretty sure if you lose like half, like 13 or 14% of your blood, you just
it's
die.
over.
yeah,
Yeah.
So I mean that's like half a liter for an average adult. So I imagine he has to be okay if he's going drinking.
yeah.
I mean, not okay,
He
but
did
I
just
mean-
lose an arm.
He's got to replace the fluid, I guess.
that's not how that works. But good thing
I mean, it thins it out and like makes it more productive, right? Like, because it's thinner, so it like circulates better.
that's also not how that works. But
All right.
I just know that when I get
I'm not a
hit,
doctor.
I want to drink.
Yeah.
really massing it out there.
All right.
It's
So
like outside the box thinking.
yeah.
Like
I get that a lot. So, so out of all the stories we just had, like, what do we think is the best thread here?
well, we go
Well-
find the guy. I mean, we know where the guy without the arm was headed, so that's a pretty easy.
He,
I
that
kinda
might be the
agree.
guy that might be the guy with the arm we found earlier.
I'm betting.
Wow,
I'm
fucking
betting.
Sherlock Holmes over here, man.
Wait,
Like
wait,
how
Seven
many people you
intelligence,
think are
baby.
running around this town with one arm. That is phenomenal.
I have an
You
intelligence
are
of 6. I know what I'm talking about.
Thank you.
Deductive genius. Let me tell
7 intelligence, baby.
I would also,
That's what-
just bring a little bit of our attention to the fact that the kids that turned into mice went
That's-
into the woods.
That's what I want to go look at.
we got
that's-
we got a whole other bunch of mice. Could have ourselves a little Piper situation going on here.
The town's gonna get invaded by mice.
Yeah.
or maybe that's the kids.
And
That
Piper.
story
stuck
went
in
the
there for safety.
other way. Never mind. But
That'll be
if
hard.
if something was drawing those kids to the woods while they were mice, who knows? Maybe the same kind of effect happened with the guards, or they also turned into mice. It's a long shot, but who knows?
So where are you looking to go to first?
Let's go to the mud hole, right?
Yeah, let's do that.
Besides,
I like that
that's
idea.
longer.
Okay.
I'm in. I'm in.
Okay. So
in.
so as you continue through the town, you eventually get to the old Mud Hole Inn. It looks like what was probably an old fisherman's shack right on the water. There is a broken dock outside the back of it on the water that clearly is no longer in use. You could see where one of the windows is broken and it's not even bothered to be boarded up. You could see a couple of, you could see a little bit of light spilling out from the inside. It looks like there was a door on the front of this place at one point in time, but it's no longer there. You could see the remnants of hinges that were in place. And there's not a lot of noise or commotion coming from the inside, but there's definitely voices coming from inside. So it's not empty either. There's a sign out front that says the Old Mud Hole Tavern, and it is like this busted ass piece of driftwood that is like very slapdash painted in like terrible, terrible penmanship, like barely legible to most people. This cat is staring at me.
Yeah, right
The
as
other
my
side of
dog
this
is
window.
losing its mind. So hold.
Yeah, so that's
Tell
what
you
you see.
guys, this looks like my kind of place. Let's get in here. Let's go in here, find our man, and possibly drink something that will make me double.
Make you what?
See double.
Oh, okay.
Why
I
would
wonder
you
if
want
they'll
to see
sell
two of
anything to
him?
me.
Huh? What?
Why would you want to see two of him?
No, I don't want to see two of him. I don't want to see anything of anything. That's why I'm hoping to blur the edges.
He wants to see two of every woman that's in there.
Yeah, he said see double, but now he said he doesn't want to see anything.
Well,
What are you pass
it's
out?
blurry. It's like the point. I'm going in.
We can help him pass out. Do you want it?
I could be into passing out.
I'm not the lady you're looking for.
But we have an investigation.
I'm not looking for ladies. Really. Thing.
All right, so
I'm not the man you're looking for either.
So
yeah, it's not that. Just
I want to go see this man with the one arm, and I want to.
I wonder if it looks all floppy.
I'm really curious as to what this arm looks like too.
Did we bring the arm with us?
Broke it off like rock, like when it was rock. Like I gotta see this thing.
Yeah.
Did,
So
did we bring the arm with us?
Just as a quick recollection, when you did find the arm originally, it did look like it was oddly like the flesh was oddly cut and broken, and like you could see where there were like flaps of flesh that, were they hardened, would have mimicked like a break in in something more solid. So you could anticipate to see the counterpoint to that on the other body is what you would assume. But inside of the old mud hole, when you walk through the door that is no longer a door but is really just an opening, you are greeted inside by just 4 tables with about 3 chairs between the 4 of them. One table just literally just off to the side, pushed up against a wall with no chairs at all around it. Inside it smells of like wet wood and fish. Like it's a dingy, fishy, swampy kind of smell. It is generally unpleasant. It is dimly lit. There are 2 lanterns in the whole place. One of them is almost completely burnt out. The other one is, struggling to flicker. But it's throwing just enough light in here so that, if you wanted to lie low, probably no one would study your face too much. You see a large female half orc standing behind the bar. She's got the sides of her head are completely shaved and it's pulled back in this tight ponytail. What's left is pulled back in this tight ponytail that sits high in the back of her head, and it's just like this very pitch black hair that is greased back, be it naturally or through the means of some sort of substance. You can see at one table there is a dwarf with his face, mushed into the wood, and a cup in front of him, drunk as a skunk. You actually recognize that dwarf as Grum, the dwarf that you had seen at the Nestled Nook a couple nights before that had also passed out outside of the Nook. And at one of the other tables, you see a human male with short, dusty kind of blonde hair, no shirt. You could see like scratches and welts across his chest. You could see that he is missing one arm, like almost almost right at the edge of the shoulder. It's just gone, and you could see like bits of flesh that are literally just kind of like loosely dangling there, and a small piece of bone protruding out from where the socket would be. His pants are torn, no shoes, just sitting in a chair, leaning up against a wall, just exasperated, eyes closed.
Does he have alcohol?
No alcohol in front of him.
Oh, we need to get this man. We need to get this man a drink.
I'm already on my way to the bar.
Okay, good. Because I don't know if they'd sell something to me. Still
I'm just-
50-50 on that.
I'm gonna walk up to him and poke him awake.
All right, so Throttle, you walk up to him as Syl is approaching the bar and poke him, and like both eyes on his face barely open up, like he is struggling to open up his eyes, and he kind of just looks over at you, and in like this very like whispered, almost weak, breathy voice, he's just like, "Leave me alone, please. I'm so tired."
Why are you here instead of the doctor?
And he just looks at you and he's like, "I'm hiding from everyone."
Why?
I mean, in case you haven't noticed, I'm missing an arm. It's a little embarrassing.
We found an arm earlier.
Bet it's your arm.
I don't. Do
Is
you
it
have
yours? No. Why would
Not
I
with
carry
us.
around someone else's arm? That's
You and
weird.
Norda?
I mean, after today, at the mention of Norda, Iju, he perks up and he's like, "I'm hiding from her too. I'm a little embarrassed.
It was your arm.
I don't know if
Wait.
she's gonna, I don't know what kind of fault or blame is gonna lie on me for this, but I guess I'm still alive. Guess."
Did you get turned into a statue?
He looks over at you and he's like, "I don't recall."
Did you see anybody first?
"I did. I was standing guard in the hallway and, hey, wait a second. You were there." He
Yeah, no
He
kidding.
perks up a little bit as he starts to get some like semblance of recognition to all of you. He's like, "You were there. Is this your doing?"
If
Suddenly
it
not
was,
so
would we be
embarrassed.
here?
"I don't know what brings you here. Maybe you're hiding too.
From you?
Or Norda."
Oh,
We work for her now.
yeah, she actually thinks that we're good enough that we can go ahead and try and figure out what the fuck's going on.
Hey, Iju. I bet since this guy's probably not going to be able to be a soldier anymore, you could have his tabard.
That's a good point. Maybe his was the one I already threw down, though.
he looks at you and he's like, "If you can find it, it's yours."
But what if we can reattach your arm? We still got the arm.
If I'm being honest, I think I just want to get away from here.
You don't want your arm back?
Don't go
Are
to
you okay,
Allfield.
dude?
I don't know that it can be reattached.
Well, hang on. You said you saw someone in the hallway before, like,
I mean-
while we were in the office?
I caught a glimpse of someone or something. It was all very fast, and when I came to, my arm was missing, and I was halfway across town. I mean, I wasn't bleeding out, so I kind of trucked my way over here, and I'm waiting for the first ship I could get on. I'm getting out of here.
I mean, I guess when your arm's suddenly gone, like, probably everything else becomes secondary at that point, right?
So probably just in shock.
My arm is somebody else's problem at this point. I want out of here. I'm tired of this town and everything that goes on here.
So okay, but I understand that. And good for you. I'm kind of tired of it too. Kind of want to get the fuck out of here. But now I have to like figure shit out and like help people and stuff like that. So that's what I'm doing. So could you tell us a little bit more about what you saw before you lost your arm?
There were two of us
Take
in
my
the hallway.
sunglasses off.
There were two of us in the hallway, and you know, I saw something whiz by me, and the next thing I know, it was gone, and there was a small little purple mushroom on the ground, and I bent over to pick it up, and then the next thing I remember, my arm was missing, and I was outside of the building. I don't know exactly what happened in between there, and to be quite honest with you, I heard some woman's hair turned into snakes the other day, and somebody caught on fire a couple days ago at the festival, and if I'm being honest, I want out. I'm getting on the next ship out of here. I don't know where it's going yet, but it's wherever it takes me, it's better than this. I'm done. But please don't turn me into Norda, please. If you turn me in, I'm going to have to go back into her employ. I don't want to work for the Empire anymore. I just want to go.
I honestly don't think she's trying to get us to turn anyone into her.
I don't
We're trying to
remember
figure
him
out the
being-
mushrooms.
I'm also not
didn't-
a snitch.
She didn't
Have
ask
I-
us to talk about you.
Have I successfully acquired drink?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Sil, as this conversation is going on, you head over to the bar, and this large, female half orc is behind the bar, and she looks at you as you approach, and she's like, "Hey there, fella, what can I get for you?"
Yeah, I'm looking for something that's gonna help me forget this morning, and I'm guessing I'm not the only. So why don't you set me up with like 6 of them?
Set me up with some coin, and I'll get you something.
Yeah, sure. 3 gold coins out on the bar. How much?
She just turns around and like walks into a small little nook off the back of the bar, and when she comes back out a moment later, she literally has a full cask, like a keg, that she's carrying, and she's like, "Here!" Boom! She just slams it down.
Gonna need some cup.
She throws out a couple of cups. They're like, shoddily made, hammered metal tankards.
Sure.
They get the job done.
I'm taking the lot and I'm headed over to the table where this conversation's happening, and I'm just gonna tap this bad boy, and I'm gonna pour the first drink and hand it to the soldier. Pour the second drink, hand it to myself,
Okay.
and not pour any.
So-
All right. I see how it is. No, I'm gonna pour myself one.
I mean, I got you cups.
I was gonna say, at least you brought some, and that's why you're my favorite so far.
When he takes his first swig, I'm gonna ask him if he's seen 2 yet. Like as soon as he takes his first sip.
No.
This
Oh.
this ale that you're this drink that you're about to drink, it's
Please be orc ale.
yeah,
Please.
it has this very thick, viscous kind of like yellowish tint to it,
Ugh.
and
Is it con save time?
as you're pouring it, it it kind of glops out for the first couple of seconds, as it gets flowing, and as soon as you go to drink it down, it just tastes like
A mouth carpet.
yeah, it coats the
Mouth
entirety of your
carpet,
tongue and the
ew.
inside of your cheeks.
Oh, that's not
Your
right.
teeth begin to itch, and it has this like sour, curdled flavor to it that it burns your nostrils, your eyes tear just a little bit. Your stomach literally does somersaults as soon as it makes it past the back of your throat and down your
Oh.
esophagus.
My favorite.
Make a con save for me.
Sure.
Wait,
Anybody who's drinking it, make a
Come
con.
on.
I'm
That's
drinking
fucking
it.
natural funny, you son of a bitch.
I just want you to know that all of my characters have managed to avoid this at every fucking turn, and now I'm gonna do it. So,
What did you get?
I rolled a 6.
A 6. So, Sil, as soon as it gets like to the back of your throat and halfway down your esophagus, it immediately comes back up.
That's all right. I'm used to that. It
Yeah.
happens every time.
Like, and it is like the most acrid. It's the most acrid verp you've ever experienced.
Yeah.
It
I'm so
almost,
used to this.
I will say though, it almost tastes better coming back up than it did going down.
I just keep going.
Yeah.
I've done orc ale before. This is not a new experience.
All right, who else rolled for me?
17.
All right. So, Squally, you take it down and it's awful. I mean,
Yeah.
it is terrible. It can only be compared to like prank drinks that you've had in the Feywild from like some jokesters at the carnival that are just trying to get over on people. You managed to keep it down begrudgingly. Like
Well,
it wants to come
puking is
back
part
up.
of the experience.
Yeah.
Gets you fucked up fast.
Did anybody else try it? No?
I feel that
Just
is
a little
I
for this.
definitely did not.
All right.
I feel that as big as that man right now.
Sil, Squally, are you starting to see why the person who lives here did not go to the bar first?
The guard
No.
the guard looks
Why?
over at the two of you and goes, "Fuck it," and reaches out with his one arm, and just takes a swig. Immediately, you see his eyes roll back into his head. His entire stomach begins to convulse. His throat like bulges out a little bit. And he goes to like, you see him like move his body as though to cover his mouth with an arm that is no longer there. And he just vomits on the table.
Sad.
It's like,
You could have at least missed the table. But anyway.
honestly, that
I'm
Honestly,
gonna
that
pet his
tracks.
back.
that
I mean,
tracks.
how do you think your mugs aren't sliding around on it?
And from behind the bar,
That's great.
I don't care how many constitution checks I have to make. Sil just keeps going for it. He's just like, yep, this is how it works. Every third drink is like,
yeah. I'll just say narratively.
I'm gonna
like,
keep going.
Yeah, narratively, it's hit or miss.
And
like,
I'm looking the orc in the eye, the half orc in the eye, the entire time I'm doing it
And-
too. Like, and every time I don't throw up, I'm like, yeah.
every time one of you does not throw up, she just takes a full swig from a tankard of her own stock and just like sweats it off, like almost no reaction, just laughing through all of it.
yeah, I feel like Sil, I mean, he's broke, he's poor, he's homeless.
Yeah, but now
I
he's
feel
got
like
a keg of orc ale, so
Yeah, now I got a keg of orc ale. I'm on top of the world, you know? I feel like he's drank the bottom of every kind of barrel he could find.
yeah.
So, orc ale, par for the course. This is like gourmet shit.
While that's going on, I'm just like, I have nothing better to do because there's no way I'm touching that. I'm just going to play some like generic bar music over them having a competitive vomit match.
I don't know. I think I'm doing pretty good. I don't think I'm vomiting.
That's fair. But I definitely have a look of horror on my face the entire
And
time.
Hey,
every time actually the vomit hits the table and everything, I'm gonna use prestidigitation and just make it go away.
so
Every time.
from behind the bar, you just hear, "Hey Bard, you got anything in V major?"
What?
I'm slightly less interested now.
It just-
That was terrible.
Oh, because they're vomiting.
and she just goes back to what she's doing.
Yeah, that kind of ruined her for me. I gotta let the dog out.
So what are you guys doing?
I'm
See-
not drinking it. That's
Yeah,
what
so
I'm not
you've
doing.
got this guard in front of you who is like,
How drunk is he?
he's like half in the bag. He's only had a couple. He's only had like 2, because quite honestly, at some point he confesses that like he just doesn't think his body can take anymore. Like he's so tired. The convulsing and the flexing of his stomach muscles is just taking like every last bit of energy that he has.
I'd feel bad for you, but you did drink it voluntarily, man.
It'll be how I fondly remember this place. Garbage.
No, you're not gonna remember any of this drinking that.
Fingers crossed.
Yep, that's my plan too. Cheers.
Can I
Why
try
do
to
you-
intimidate him into drinking another one?
Why do you hate this place so much?
I didn't want to be a guard to begin with.
Why
But
are you?
I was enlisted. And so, here I am. And then of all the places to be stationed, I couldn't have ended up in Zadash or Rexingtrim. No. Put me on this swamp.
So wait, you didn't enlist, but you were like drafted?
Sorry, yes, drafted.
Yeah. And like, do they just do that?
If there's a need,
Why is there a need?
there's always a need. They're always at war.
Okay,
with
so then they
somebody.
just do that.
Yes, they just do that.
All right.
What
Hmm.
the Empire wants, the Empire takes.
I feel like that's like a common trope.
That's how empires work.
Mm-hmm. So wait, so where are you gonna go? Are you like a deserter at this point? If you go?
If Norda doesn't know where I am, then I am.
I mean, my lips are sealed.
My plan is to maybe head north, go to Zadash, maybe put down some roots there. I can buy low. It's a big enough city.
What's your name anyway, bro?
Marcus, I'd shake your hand, but seem to be missing one.
Well,
What?
Marcus.
I'm going to take out 10 gold and slip it into Marcus's pocket
Holy fuckola.
from one enlisted to another, or sorry, from one conscripted to another. Use that to get home.
I'm on the
Yeah, where's
first.
home? Is the dash home?
Rexingtrim is home, but
Mm.
that's why Zadash is looking pretty nice. Far enough away. Big enough city where I can blend in. I'll figure out some work. I can always beg and still probably do decent in Zadash if I'm being honest. But I'm sure I can find some work up there.
What do you like to do?
I mean, I was a Fletcher at one point in time,
Violin?
but I don't know how many bows I'll be stringing anytime soon, so
Point.
could probably be a stable hand, or who knows, maybe I'll work at a bar.
Stable hand. That's also funny.
He just kind of hangs his head low and he's like, scratch that, not doing that.
Hey, maybe
Well-
like you could maybe learn some magic, and then I'm gonna pull my mage hand up and I'm gonna pick up his beer for him and kind of like put it towards his face. Extra hand.
His eyes go wide and he's like, I need to learn that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good party trick.
Glad I could help.
But listen, if truthfully speaking, please, if you see Norda, just you didn't see me. If you've got to tell her something, you heard I left, but you didn't know where.
I mean, you lost an arm. We could probably get away with saying that you probably died.
Whatever works. I just don't want anybody finding me or chasing after me, if I'm being honest.
So why? Just one more time. Why did you hate it so much here? Like,
I mean, have you seen it? It's kind of a shithole.
Is this the first time you've seen those little guys that we had to fight?
I've seen some weird stuff, but I've never seen anything like that.
Anybody who would have let them in?
Not that I know of.
Mm.
what's the weirdest thing you've seen?
Last year, shortly after getting here, I don't know, a bunch of people were like walking around this place like zombies. I heard something about some like demon toad possessing people, and honestly, at the time I didn't believe it. I thought it was a load of shit. But after what I've seen the past couple of days, I'll believe anything now.
Good
Nancy
idea.
Took your arm.
That's what I mean. This place is cursed, I think.
You
Ain't no
best stop
cupcakes that
believing in
keep me here.
ghosts.
I find those elsewhere.
Did you know your fellow guardsmen? Were you guys friends?
I
Or you
mean,
just same assignment.
one or two of them I knew from Rexington. The rest of them I met while I was here. Everybody seems more or less decent. A few of them actually want to be here. Some of them are like me. They're here because they need to be.
What was your detail the other night? Did you see all those mushrooms sprouting when they first were here?
I mean, normally I'm just on patrol, but, you know, when I'm not on patrol, I'm just on guard at the tower. So, you know, when Norda needs someone at the Watchmaster's quarters, that's where I'm at. You know, we rotate in and out. I just happened to be in the hallway that day, awaiting your untimely arrival. So, you know.
I definitely wouldn't get rid of your arm and then start buying you drinks. That's not how I do it.
Look, honestly, I
You
think
do it in the other order.
I think if you wanted, I think if you meant me harm, you would have figured that out already. I'm not exactly fighting back
definitely.
here, so
I definitely wouldn't have shown you how to get a new hand.
my goal is to maybe get some new clothes. Actually, maybe not even. I think tomorrow morning, first ship that'll take me.
Well, make good use of that money. Get to your family. See your people again.
We'll see. It might be a long time before I head back to Rexington. That's just gonna potentially call attention to myself.
But Norda's not so bad. You just hate the situation, correct?
Honestly, Norda doesn't care. Norda's biggest problem is she's kind of here because she has to be. Kind of like the rest of us. I think if she could be stationed elsewhere, she would be. You know, she's good at what she does. She's very capable. She's very smart. Why they stuck her here, I don't know, but I'm sure she'd rather be elsewhere too.
Mm.
Last thing she wants is to have to deal with this, though. Because I'll be honest with you, this gets out, it's gonna draw some attention.
I mean,
From
it's already
who?
Well, you know, people running around, disappearing, catching on fire, turning into things.
but it's already been other places, right?
It has.
Oh, you wouldn't know.
Tourists don't care.
First I'm hearing about that. Is it in Zadash?
I have
Not that
not
we've
heard
heard.
that yet.
All right, well, where is it? I'll make sure I stay away from there.
Oldfield.
No. I'm supposed to pass through there, but I could probably avoid it. Just an extra day or two in the woods.
Just be like really quick, like really fast.
Just don't touch mushrooms.
I'll just go around.
Yeah,
it.
or don't
Maybe you
touch
should
mushrooms.
Touch a mushroom and
Just
grow your
don't.
own back.
Just don't touch mushrooms.
Listen,
And
Allfield's
avoid
only,
little things that are really fast.
Allfield's only a
And I
couple
just-
days walk, so I just avoid it.
I just want to clarify. You said that the purple one is what happened to you. Did you see any other color mushrooms or anything? Do anything else?
I saw a blue one also, but
Mhm.
I don't know. I mean, The last thing I saw, the blue one was still there. I don't remember much.
Was it a really big one?
It's like about the size of a fist.
Oh, it
Mm.
was little. Was anybody
Alright.
on fire near it?
Not that I recall. When I did
Hmm.
come through, there were some people screaming, running in the other direction in the city, but I just used that as a distraction to make my way here. So I guess it's possible something else was going on, but listen, I still don't fully understand how I lost my arm or why I'm not dead. I just know that I got one shot only. So if you don't mind, I'm going to stand here. Fosno, keep me fed and maybe drunk for the rest of the night. First thing in the morning, I'm out.
Okay.
I hope to see you in the future.
If you
Hope
ever
to see
find
you
yourself
well.
in Zadash, look for the guy with one arm. Kind of chuckles a little bit.
There might be more of you.
Oh, God. Actually,
I mean,
you
there's
know what? I hope there are. Maybe it'll draw attention away from me.
probably not the only guy with one arm. I'm just putting that out there.
Good. Easier to
Maybe you'll
draw
meet a guy
attention.
with
That
one
leopard's
leg.
only got one arm.
Maybe you'll meet somebody that can build you an arm.
You know
Ooh.
what? That
Yeah, they can give you a hand.
Zadash has got some good shops, so I don't know. Maybe there's an enchanter or someone who's got some skills up there that can help me out.
Hope you got some gold.
I do now. And he looks over at you, Throttle. Oh, he holds up an empty tankard. He's like,
Here's
yeah,
to that.
I'm not
Drinking
I'm
that.
not drinking anymore, but you know, it's the gesture.
I've learned my lesson, and once was enough. But I hope to see you well in the future.
Hopefully. With all due respect, though, if I never saw you again, I'd be okay with that as well.
Well,
Agreed.
Excuse you,
Yeah.
I am a delight.
Not saying you're not, just saying I kind of want to put all this behind me.
can't say I blame you, and as far as I'm concerned, anyone here asks, and you're dead already.
But hey, if you find my arm before tomorrow morning, maybe you could drop it off. Maybe I could figure out something to do with it.
We already
It
found
was
your-
it was yeah.
Yeah.
Still, where'd we leave it?
we left it with his boss.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's with your boss.
I'm not going back.
Yeah, if you know what?
We should go back and get his arm.
I'd rather take my chances with someone figuring out how to give me a new one, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I don't really think it worked anyway.
I don't
We
know how
could
long it's
try.
gonna last. I don't know how long it's gonna last without like the whole circulatory system.
Yeah,
He's like,
I've
but
done
look,
a lot.
he's like,
What
but
do
look,
circles have
but
to do with
I
this?
could do this, and he kind of shows you his stump, and you could see like the bone in the stump kind of like respond and move a little bit.
Yeah, it is.
It's like, I
Gross.
mean, that thing still works.
You need a new arm. Or the old one back.
Maybe I could grow
I'm
one.
actually chuckling at
Yeah.
that like character too.
You know, I used to know somebody that like collected hands. Maybe I could reach out to him.
You
What?
used to know someone crazy enough to collect hands?
Yeah, they had a ton of them.
You know,
Why?
if
Was it
there's
a
an arm attached
serial
and it
killer?
works, sure.
Is that a serial killer?
Hey, listen, I don't know what you guys have seen, but I've heard that there are these automatons. They're like, I don't even know if they're alive or not, but they seem to walk around like they're alive. Maybe I get like a robot arm.
Easy.
The
I've
6
heard
million
something
gold
about
man.
that.
You know what I mean?
That doesn't. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe somebody can build you an arm. Like it's not outside the realm of possibility.
Look at this. I've got a purpose now.
I'm so glad we could help with that.
Been a hell of a day for you, hasn't it?
Sure has. It's going to be a hell of a night because I
Marcus?
plan on sleeping right in this stool, right in this booth, right here.
Marcus, I just want you to have the best night ever. And I'm going to let you like live in your trauma right now. Thank you for the help that you've given me.
That's oddly
then I'm gonna go-
comforting.
I'm going to go up to the bar and I'm going to look like I'm gonna walk away from this whole thing, and I'm gonna go to the bottom and be like, "What's your name?"
Vasna. Nice to meet you.
What is it? Bashna?
Vasna. Vosna. Vasna.
Oh, Voss.
Bosna. That was a pretty great trick you just tried to pull on all of us.
It's not a trick, it's a delicacy.
Yeah, I handled it pretty good.
Kudos to you.
Thanks. I handle a lot of things real good. So, do you know anything about the mushrooms? You seen anything weird?
I know a couple of appeared outside of the front of my door the other day, but when I went to go pick them, a couple of kids had grabbed them and run off. So,
What color were they?
kids?
red, I think.
Red? Hmm. Okay, that's the only ones you've seen?
I mean, here I heard there were more at the festival the other day, but look, I don't normally attend those things. I'm pretty comfortable
Yeah.
here. You know what I mean? Yeah, my people
I
come
feel that.
through, lie low, make a couple of bucks. It's not a bad way to eke out a life.
No. I love that life. That's good for you. Good. I really like your hair.
Thanks. Greased it myself.
Yeah.
She like you could see her run a hand through it, and like as she
Mm.
pushes her hand through it, it's just like it's slick.
Mm. That's nice. May I?
Sure. She kind of leans forward.
Mm.
As you run your hand through it, it glides over the top of the hair. And as
Mm.
you pull your hand away, it is now just covered in like
Mm.
like a very thin layer of some greasy, oily substance.
I'm not gonna make a big deal out of it. I'm just gonna go very smooth. I'm gonna put my hand down next to me and wipe it onto my my clothes, but not where anybody can see me do it.
She reaches out.
Big,
She reaches underneath the bar and she pulls up a small wooden box. She slams it down in the bar and she goes, "Take some for yourself." She pops open the top and you could just see it. It looks like a balm almost. It's got a very
Yeah.
pungent, fishy smell to it.
I
the
don't know
rumor
about
has
fishy.
the rumor around town has it that that's made with the curdled remains of what you just drank.
All right, well, I'm not gonna ever look a gift horse in the mouth, and I'm just gonna take it, and I'm gonna put it away because sometimes I like that slick back ponytail look. It's like it's good for me. It highlights my like clavicles.
She does.
So
She does that lean in, one arm on the bar thing. She's like, "It'll look good on you." She gives you a wink.
most things do. Wink back. All right, I'm gonna go sit over there, but you let me know if there's anything I can do for you, okay?
Will do. And listen, I couldn't help but overhear a little bit. If he's asking for a bit of privacy, I'd ask that you honor that. A lot of the people that come through here because it's quiet enough to, it's a good spot to lay low. So,
Oh yeah,
his request for privacy is important to me too. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not. Yeah, no, I'm not a snitch. No way.
Good to know.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go back and sit with everybody else and be like, I'm gonna tell them about how she saw the red mushrooms, and then she thought some kids picked them before she could get to them. So maybe that's the mice thing. I don't know.
Could be worth tracking down.
Do we think the colors have anything to do with anything?
I hadn't really thought about it, but maybe.
Don't really have enough information to go on that one.
Make
Well,
do me a
we
favor,
remember if there
everybody make an intelligence check for me.
Oh dear.
Sindri! Sindri, come back.
Oof, so close.
Oh, not bad though, girl.
Oh, good. Dirty 20 for me.
30-20,
17.
17,
15.
15,
Mine was a 9.
9,
9.
Throttle,
9.
6.
6. Okay, so
Perfect.
not
I am the
Throttle,
most smarterest.
not Throttle and Sill, But well, actually, all of you have noticed that there have been different colors, right? So far, you've seen red, you've seen blue, there's been purple, and there's been green, right? So you've heard or seen at least 4 colors. Iju, with your dirty 20, I would say that as you have slowly heard and seen different things, you've at least picked up on a kind of thread. Like, it seems like anytime blue is involved, it has some sort of transmutation effect, like Neva's pig nose, the woman with the Medusa hair.
Yep.
Right. And when you saw the red mushrooms dealt with elemental effects, right? The person who caught on fire, the person who was slinging the ice balls. So at minimum, it seems like there might be something to the colors.
Okay.
But you also have a very small pool to
Yeah.
kind of pull from. But I'll say that at minimum, it stands out that there might be something to that.
Okay. There's a lot of colors in the rainbow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
But-
at that question, then I'm just chime in with that basic info. Like, seems like it probably does, but I don't know if we have enough info to really gather. But something we should pay attention to.
And really, there's only like 7 colors in the rainbow.
Yeah.
Point. I'm not very smart.
Are you guys
But-
still sitting with the guard, or are you sitting by yourselves?
No. I went away from him.
Okay.
Like I said, I was going to let him sit in his trauma.
Yeah. So as you were all sort of sitting by yourselves in this moment, you see Neva come walking through the door. And like
That's
as he
yeah.
approaches the door, you see him like peek his head across the threshold, looking for a door that is no longer there. Quick look around the room, starts to make his way towards you, looks over at the guy with one arm at the other table and is like, is that
No,
right?
no. Come here, have a drink.
Oh, all right.
Don't. Never mind.
All right then. So
This guy's name is Nicholas.
oh, seems like an unfortunate fella. Anyway, so some good news, perhaps. So I did reach out to some people at the academy, and it seems as though, that, they have a little bit of pull, and, you, and he points over at you, Thradal. He's like, we might be able to get you, on leave for a bit. So, currently working on that. Currently working on that, so you can get out of here. Maybe permanently. I don't know yet. Also, Allfield seems to still be dealing with these problems. Although, from what I hear, it's been somewhat contained. And I have someone I can speak to up there. I'll probably head that way shortly.
Have you thought about the fact that maybe the mushrooms have different colors, do different things? You're a smart guy.
Is he?
Honestly, I haven't.
He's smart, not wise.
Honestly, I haven't
Good
thought
point.
about that, but that's an interesting notion. Is there something that you've observed that I haven't?
I mean, it's more Iju that got this going with the seeing.
Yeah, I mean, we've only seen a couple of things, but the red ones seem to have elemental type effects. Blue ones seem to be transmutations, like the one that you experienced. They were blue, right?
Yeah. Actually, now that you mention it, that's good. I'll report that back.
The purple one did stone. Turn the gods
That's
that
what
are
we
way
think
far
it
away
is.
to stone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Good to know. Certainly something worth exploring. Certainly something worth exploring. So, are you still on the lookout for Norda's guard, or what are your plans now?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll be looking out for him.
By the way,
Yeah.
you haven't touched your drink. Here.
Before you drink that, what exactly do you mean that you can get me out of my situation?
Well, it seems like there is a great amount of interest in tracking down or figuring out what exactly is going on here, and the Academy is looking at all of their options, both official and unofficial. And I may or may not have said that I knew some people who were unofficially looking at it that were not associated with the Academy. And if you were willing to put in a little bit of time for perhaps some compensation, I could make some things happen. You'd be responsible for reporting to me, if that's any consolation.
I like
neck is kind of on
compensation
the
and I
line.
like getting out of Trostenwald, so
I'm gonna grab him by his head and kiss him on the forehead really big. And be like,
He's like, "Oh, my horns, be careful." But
they're not gonna come off. I mean, I don't think they will.
no.
unless you touch more mushrooms.
But
Maybe they'll grow back like mine can.
so I need to head to Allfield in a couple of days, but I suggest perhaps that would be your next best stop as well. I think I could.
Should we go with you?
If you'd like to go ahead, perhaps. I have to clean up a few more things here. Unfortunately, Norda made a few inquiries as well, and I think at least I have to report back on as much as I can find here and try to contain it. But we're looking at Allfield as possibly the starting point for all of this, at least right now.
But what if we leave here and then this place gets attacked again?
Well,
We're kind of the only people that saved it.
you're not leaving just yet, right?
No, I'm here for at least a few more days. Certainly I could go with you if you want to wait, but given the fact that you have an opportunity to get away and not look back, it's certainly something you can explore as well.
What do you
got
guys
some
think?
thinking to do.
I got an idea. I got an idea about what I want to do, but
I mean, I don't want to stay either, but if they do get attacked again, they're kind of hosed.
Well, how did Allfield contain the mushrooms?
it doesn't seem like they did.
Steven just said they had a little bit under
but-
containment.
As best I could tell, after speaking to one of my contacts there, it kind of just stopped after.
So
a
when it
few
came
weeks.
here?
So I think that they still have a few, but it's not quite as bad as when it first happened. But again, I haven't spoken directly to anyone there, just bits and bobs here and there.
What's the
Sounds like-
fastest way to it? Our pal over there said it's a couple-day walk.
On foot, probably take you about 2.5 days at a quick pace. I might be able to arrange for some horses to cut that down a bit, but that's up to you. Depends on how you are most comfortable traveling. We might be able to get you a cart, but I don't think a cart's going to actually get you there any faster.
When you go
Mhm.
after a couple days, how are you gonna get there? Are you gonna have like a detail? Or are you gonna go by yourself? What you gonna do?
Honestly, I was planning on just making my way there and stopping along the Amber Road along the way and speaking to whomever I may run across, just to see if
I-
there's anybody.
All right, all right.
At least in the interim, I've been charged with investigating all of this in this area. I don't know why they picked me, but I've got to gather any information I can, so anybody traveling to or from Allfield might be worth a quick conversation with. So, horse or on foot is probably my best bet.
All right.
There is a fairly major road, so I hope to not have to wander into the woods too often, but, you know, it's well traveled.
Oh, all right. I think we should all talk about what we think is the best option.
Well, if you don't mind, then I am going to leave you here because, quite honestly, I'm a little uncomfortable, and he's kind of just looking around the room.
Drink
He's
your drink.
Yeah, this is a time for celebration.
He looks over at it and he's like, I'm not so sure that I want what's in that mug, if I'm being honest.
Oh, you definitely.
He,
I
like,
mean, it'll be an experience.
he grabs it.
You should drink it.
You'll never forget this moment.
All
You'll
right.
finally, yeah.
I want you all to make a group check for me. Go for persuasion. So everybody give me a persuasion roll.
Remember, I'm your charisma bomb.
Everybody.
So shit.
Oh.
It's still not a good roll, but I still
Yeah.
came out with the 17.
17,
10 for me, even
10.
with a +5 for me.
7.
7,
13.
11.
11,
13.
13. Okay. He looks
Do I get, I was going to say, do I get advantage if I just pull my shirt down a little?
Neva looks at it and he dips like just his pinky into it and he takes it up to his lips and he's like,
You know what? You know what?
No.
Smart.
No.
Smart.
no,
Oh my God, he has wisdom again.
no, 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 thank you.
Where was this when you were handling the mushrooms?
Kind of just shoot you a glare.
You know what? I got to give it to you.
I'm
You-
just gonna
You-
go back to my room.
Learned the hard way.
You might want to check
Remember.
in with Demodin, but I think I can get you out of this. At least short term.
remember to look up the rainbow colors, man,
Yes, I've made a note, and I will be.
and wear gloves.
I will be reaching out to the. Oh, I plan
And a
on.
mask.
I plan
And
on not
mask.
touching these as often as possible. Speaking of which, I did remove those ones from the center of town. At least, I was able to toss them into the water over there. So hopefully, that'll get rid of them.
Hopefully it doesn't take the water.
Put it in
What
the water?
did you just say?
Wait, what?
Drinking water? Or like just like a stream? Like what the fuck did you do?
I hadn't considered that. Fair. I hadn't considered that, but
A what?
Your mic just cut out a bunch.
oh me. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
He's like, I hadn't considered that. Fair point.
No.
But it's at least it's not where anybody unsuspecting can. All
You
right,
just
I'm going
drink
back.
it and ingest it.
I'm going back to the room. I'm going back to my
Don't
room.
drink water.
Why don't you go tell somebody to not drink that water and then go to the room? How
Or
about
like
that?
eat anything if there's fish in it.
I'll be sure to do all of those things. And he just turns around and scurries out the door.
Oh my
I'm
God,
gonna-
he threw it in the lake.
Trust him to do
I'm
that?
not.
No, I mean I'm not gonna. I'm done babysitting him. But guys, what's everybody's idea about what they want to do?
As far as I can tell, our two options are serve under Neva or serve under Norda.
Nah, man, we got more options than that.
I mean,
Serve
we could
under
just
neither.
fuck off. Yeah.
That was clever.
Thank you.
Here's my idea. This is what I want. Y'all can just tell me to fuck off if you want, but I don't want that horn motherfucker just walking by himself into Oilfield and getting fucked up by some little sprites that decide to turn him into a fungus festival. So,
That's because he'd probably try to be friends with him first.
well, here's my thing. I mean, we can. I got a real problem with kids. I don't like kids, but I like the idea of kids. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I
I don't
kinda-
like him much either.
Yeah, I mean, and I kind of
Well,
just,
Piss and shit is what they are.
I kind of want to go see if we can find those kids that maybe turned into mice, and then while we're doing that, Neva gets his shit together, and then we accompany him to Oilfield. And then it's like official shit. And then we can tell Demadouche to fuck the fuck right off, and you're coming with us, big guy.
Any plan that makes him feel worse makes me feel better.
We can set you up as a hero that went and found these kids. And now you're gonna.
Yeah, I am
I
kind
like
of
that.
curious as to what drew the changed mice into the woods. Like, why
Agreed.
would
Do
go?
I mean, they're
do
kids.
they
They,
s- do
probably
they
have a
s-
treehouse and they just ran to it.
Hey,
do
Mark.
they still think like kids, or do they think like mice?
I mean, all
Mark,
those.
Mark, got a question for you, buddy. When you were a rock, do you remember being a rock? Were you aware, or did you just like blank out?
If I'm being honest, if you didn't tell me I was a rock, I wouldn't remember that I was a rock.
Oh.
Weren't the rats like,
Rocks
hey,
don't
Norda?
have-
Weren't the rats like, hey, Norda, we're all here for you, motherfucker?
They did.
Yeah.
They lined up in like formation, didn't
I
they?
wanted to stab him.
They
Yeah.
were
You wanted
consciously
to
aware.
steal their clothes.
Thank you for not doing that, by the way. That's some good restraint. I'm really proud of you.
I mean, that's like the minimum expected thing is to not stab random animals.
Favorite thing that has ever happened.
I mean,
Thanks.
to be honest, I don't even care about the kids in the woods, but I need something to do. So
You continually surprise me with your compassion.
Well, you wait for your man mother's next letter?
yeah, I mean, half of me wants to go to Allfield because of that.
Man, mother.
You know, the guy who keeps giving birth to him.
You mad, mother?
Man, mother.
The guy who just keeps giving birth to him.
That's gonna get the art treatment, by the way. Man,
Man, mother.
I think I saw Man Mother perform once. They opened for Danzig.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Why did we have the same other act in our brain? What was that?
I love it. I love it so much. Man, mother.
I feel like it's like a festival waiting to happen with Man, Wolf Mother,
Yeah.
Man Mother.
And Danzig.
And
Of course.
dancing.
Jesus Christ.
Bring it back in. Bring it back in.
So anyway.
Dancing.
Don't start me.
Find your center.
EJ, you're just waiting for letters, aren't you?
Yes,
I'm so
that's
lost.
why
in
I'd rather
Danzig.
go. Just someplace different. I'm wandering anyway.
Oh,
I mean, I already told y'all. Why do I keep trying to be Australian and say y'all? I don't
Yeah.
get it. Because it's
everyone
one of
says
my
y'all.
verbal crutches. So like I told y'all what I want to do. It's y'all decide what you want to do.
Yeah, I'm up for whatever. Take another drink of Orc Ale. Vomit.
Preston, did
I
you take?
Yeah.
He said it's a well-traveled road between here and Allfield. So do we really think he's gonna get himself in that much trouble?
Yes.
The
Yes.
fucking mushrooms that were magically changing people without gloves. Like, he's a science man. Like, what the actual fuck?
For those of you who are remotely familiar with the area, the Amber Road is the road that runs between these two areas, between Allfield and Trostenwald, and it goes a little bit further south. It goes a little bit further north. It's typically traveled by merchants. It's traveled by some local farmers that go between the two spots to sell goods, and anybody obviously traveling between these two. Like, people come from Allfield to Trostenwald for the festival, right? So it is a common road in that regard, right? It's not through
Yeah.
the woods. It is a, for all intents and purposes, it is a carved out, like, established travel path. I mean, that doesn't mean anything other than, you know, you're not just traipsing through the woods, just to give you an idea.
I mean, just because it's well traveled to me doesn't mean much. To me, that just means that
And honestly,
There's
there's
more
not a lot
likely-
of woods around it either. It's
I
pretty
mean,
open.
just look at the guy. He can get into trouble at church.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
I mean, I guess the other question is, do we think these mice and mushrooms are permanent effects? Because like some of the other stuff just disappeared after an hour or two. You might actually, the kids might turn back into kids and run back. Do we really need 2 days of waiting? to
but
go
then
looking
they
through the
also
woods?
might be in the middle of the fucking woods and
Maybe they got eaten by like a fox or a cat.
Well, then they're
Maybe
dead.
they've been maimed. Well, yeah, then they'd be dead. But what if they're just maimed as mice, and then they could turn back into children?
Well, that's why
Yeah.
I wanted to stab them. Like that's what polymorph does. When they
That-
take
What
some
if we-
damage, it goes in back to their shape.
Maybe
I
we
didn't
find
wanna,
a
like,
snake
stab
with
the
like
mice
a
and
weird
stab 'em.
human-shaped lump in the middle of it.
Stabbing random
I
animals
just
was
wanted
wrong.
to just pokey stabby. see
That's
if they
wrong.
come back.
That's
Stab. I mean,
bad.
If you were gonna stab them, but like with a little needle, like that'd be different.
Yeah.
so
I don't have a
You
needle,
didn't.
though.
You don't have a needle, so you can't stab them.
We
How
can
about this?
bonk them.
You
We
can't
got a
bonk
hammer
them.
or a staff or something.
No.
picking up the field mice and bopping them on the head. Sorry.
Exactly.
I just went back to Girl Scouts,
Yeah,
guys.
no,
Like,
you
I don't
do
know what
you.
just happened.
I mean, and maybe I'm
Girl
wrong. Maybe what's the worst that happens? One of them dies. Like,
Yes.
I
They
feel
don't
like there's
have someone to bring them back to life.
I feel like there's an evil monster dog hounding them right now. And I'm gonna go
You could stab the monster dog, Iju.
okay.
If
Would
the
you like to
monster-
stab the monster dog?
If there is a monster dog,
All right, let's go see if there's a monster dog chasing the child mice.
I mean, it's probably evening now. How long have we been in here? Like an hour, probably discussing this. So, sun's probably going down.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, certainly time has continued to pass while you're having these conversations. So
well,
Is
I
it
guess-
fruitful to go in the woods at night?
That's
Can
when
you
all the
see
fun
in the
stuff
dark?
happens.
going into the woods at night sounds like a
A good idea.
dangerous endeavor.
I mean, I don't care. We could do it.
It's to save the children. Think of the children.
Yeah.
think of the children.
Your mic is still muted,
Who?
Heather.
We could also chill and then like do it in the morning. Cause he's gonna be here for 2 days. And like if
Okay.
we don't find anything, we could still leave before him. If we honestly trust him to not die just like walking down the street. Which
He'd probably breathe
Well,
and
that's what
fall
I'm saying.
over.
Like, I don't think we should leave tonight. No matter what, we should sleep on it, rest, do whatever people do at night.
Yeah. Mhm. What?
Most people sleep.
Maybe sit in the corner, kind of like creepily.
Yeah, that's more like it.
Yeah.
I mean, we are still on the city's tab, so
I was gonna say you still have a
I
room at the
can-
Nestled Nook, so it's not like you don't have a room to go back to that's comfortable and warm if you want to.
And you have nothing in your stomach to drink. Plenty there, so.
And Belle's there.
And Belle's there.
Belle is there. It's true.
Yeah.
Maybe she'll come with us.
Maybe she'll give you a cupcake.
Ew.
Maybe she'll give me a cupcake.
Hey-o.
I think she wants
That's
to
what I
give you
meant.
more than a cupcake.
Or she's
Maybe
just
that's
being
why she
nice
gives
because
it.
that's a job. But,
Either way,
either way, it's
I think
fun.
it's
Maybe you can use
bring
some
some
of the hair
sleep
grease.
time.
Give it to her as a sign.
So what do you guys want to do?
Stay the night.
Okay.
let's take a walk. Let's go check.
Yeah.
Let's just go poke our heads around, look around the woods. I mean, if we find kids, probably gonna be pretty obvious pretty quick. If
Is
there's
it
nothing
daylight
out
savings
there, we come back and get something to eat.
Yeah. So Threadle, you know pretty much like northeast of the Baumbach Brewery, and also north of the Van Brandt Brewery, right? Those are one of the two big families up north there. There is a whole wooded area on the other side of Trostnwald. It's not a huge area, but that is probably the woods that are being referred to when people tell you that they ran out into the woods. Those woods kind of back up against the mountains at some point, so that would be probably the most likely spot for you.
Come on, I'll lead y'all to the to where the woods are. We can take a quick peek around.
Did I some? I'm gonna go hang out with the street dog real quick while we're.
Okay, so
Okay, please.
from where you are at the old Mudhole Tavern, it's not a very long walk to get to the edge of the woods. I mean, 10 or 15 minutes. Remember, Trostnwald isn't huge, right? It's not taking you hours to traipse the entirety of this place. So, within 10 or 15 minutes, you're approaching normal evening hours, right? Like, I'd say probably like 5 o'clock, 5:30, somewhere in there. If you think about 3 o'clock is when you got here, a couple hours passed. So you get to the edge of the woods. We're looking at still like the sort of the fall region, similar to the time of year that we're actively in now on the East Coast. So the sun is still up. It hasn't quite set yet. It hasn't quite hit darkness yet. Yeah. I mean, the edge
So
of the
they're
woods are
not
here.
in daylight savings time.
Yeah.
Before we get into all of Wood's thing, I'm gonna turn to Thradal there, and I'm just gonna like talk to him for a second. Hey man, you're okay with all this stuff that's going on, right? You're gonna be good, right?
What do you mean all of this stuff? Because there's a lot of stuff happening right now.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, you know what? Don't worry about it. And I'm gonna give him a big pat on the chest.
Okay.
I'm gonna kind of hold my hand there for a second, and I'm just gonna give you a vigilant blessing.
What is that?
Like, just keep your head on a swivel, yeah.
Thanks. I appreciate the kind words.
You have advantage on your next initiative roll.
Awesome.
Okay. So through that, you find yourself right on the edge of this wooded area north of the city. What do you guys? I mean, are you looking for something in particular? Are you just gonna walk into the woods and see what you see? Like,
Is there like a pathway?
There's not. I mean, there's no like formal pathway. You could see a couple of spots that are clearly worn down, by people who have sort of made unofficial trails through here. But there's no like formal pathway. and that's mostly because there's nothing on the other side of this. Like, it butts up against a mountain range. It doesn't go anywhere formal. So the only people that would be in these woods for the most part would be, hunters, or you know, you, kids looking to get away or mess around or something along those lines.
Do we are we able, maybe before we go we see if we can find the, don't look at me like that, child. And we can see if we can find the parents and know kind of who we're looking for, but we could also just go.
I mean, I think we're here now. If we're at the
Yeah,
mine,
just go take a look.
walk in and see. But
All
I
right.
mean, they're mice, so we're not gonna probably find things out of whack
Or they're mice, but they were mice.
right.
The
Can I, like, look
transformations
around
don't
for,
seem to
like-
last for very long.
Can I look
Yeah.
around for like bigger footprints other than
Sure,
mice?
make an investigation check for me. Or if you have a bonus in survival, I don't know if you have any bonuses in survival. I'll allow a survival check too.
Hang on.
I'll be back in like 30
Nah,
seconds.
my
Gotta grab some water.
investigation is better.
Okay, that's fine. Make an investigation.
I
for
rolled
me.
an 18.
Okay, so when you first push into the woods from where you are, you don't see any footprints necessarily right away. But what you do eventually see is sort of like chaotic zigzags of branches that have been trampled, or smaller smaller bits of growth and shrubbery that have been knocked down. Like, clearly there has been some sort of activity, and probably hastily so, in this wooded area. It would be hard for you to follow any sort of direct path, but at a minimum, you could see that it seems to be like going in a general direction. There's no direct route because, again, it's sort of like zigzag and scattered, but it is sort of zigzag and scattered going in like this northwestern direction.
That seems like something worth following.
I think we should go that way.
All right, are
I
we
just
all
kind of
good?
Point it all out.
Like, are we all like okay to go? We all feel all right? We all feel strong? We all feel like we can do this right now?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right.
I mean, sure.
I can do it.
You can do anything you put your mind to, little one.
I'm not that little.
You're little, and I'm being sarcastic as fuck.
Oh,
As a random backtrack for a couple seconds, can we count what we just did there as a short rest? Since we were just kind of chilling in the bar.
Yeah, I
talking?
would say your time spent in the mud hole would count as a short rest. If any of you gain a benefit
All
from a
right.
short rest, you could take that. If you for some reason need to burn a hit die to recover some hit points and you want to do that, you could certainly do that as well.
oh, how do I do that?
You go, if you're in the app, you go
Yeah.
to manage character, and it's in the menu that pops out,
It should
on
say
the side?
short rest, and
and it says
you,
take short rest or take long rest.
Yeah.
And you take the short rest. And if you want to use your hit die to gain back any
hit points or
uh,
whatever.
hit points you need.
Oh, I hit that button.
All relevant abilities have been reset. Which is absolutely nothing for me. All right.
All right, I have all of my HP back.
Nice.
Yep.
The automatic healing thing didn't work, so I gotta do it manually.
You gotta click the button, and then click on the when it says, like, mine said 1d8 plus 2, so you gotta click on that. It should roll something. That's weird.
No, I'll just do it manually. Okay, sorry, continue. I'll just apply this manually.
Okay. So you're following that path. Is that what's happening?
Yes. Can I use stealth for this?
Sure. So are you going to go ahead of the group?
Yes.
Okay. So Horkrin, are you going to tell them that you're going ahead, or are you just going to go ahead and do it?
Yes, I'm gonna tell them.
All right. So go ahead and do that.
I-
I'll let you narratively do that.
I'm gonna go ahead because I'm little and sneaky.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah, I guess.
Don't
Hey,
touch any
hey,
mushrooms.
hey, here's what I'm
I'll
gonna
try
do
not
though.
to.
I'm going to use my mind link to I mean it only lasts for a certain distance. But I'm gonna like talk to you in your brain and I'm gonna be like,
What's the distance on it?
unfortunately, it looks like it's only 30 feet. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me make sure there's no way to change it.
Well, we could keep communicating every few.
Yeah, no,
feet,
you can
though.
keep talking to me telepathically if I do the mind link with you.
Yeah.
So
But you can't communicate back. Is that how it works?
yeah, like
Oh,
if I
yeah,
pick
How do I?
if I pick Corcoran as it, I can give that creature the ability to speak telepathically with me for the next hour
Gotcha.
or until I end this effect. So you can kind of go, but 30 feet's not that long, which is the problem. So
Yeah. So what I would
I don't think it goes away though. Like, so if I become within 30 feet from you,
Okay.
it'll still work because it doesn't say anything about it. Only goes away if I like make it go away. So
Well,
we
just
can
go.
kind of let you go ahead, and then
I'll-
I have a good survival, so like I can kind of like sneak us through a little bit.
Right. So it lasts for 10 minutes.
No.
Oh, it's 10 minutes per
My-
level. Sorry.
No, mind link that I'm looking at in my racial traits right now.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's because it's a racial trait. Okay.
Yeah, says as an action when I'm speaking telepathically to
Gotcha.
a creature, I can give that creature the ability to speak telepathically with me for the next hour or until I end
Okay.
this effect.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's just me being a Kalishtar.
Gotcha. Yes. Creature within 10 times their level.
Come
So
here.
30 feet.
You
Okay.
little thing. Come here.
You
Come here,
want?
I got something for you.
Warily walk up to him.
I pull out my little name and I say a little prayer. Tap you on the head. Guidance.
Wait, what'd you give me?
Guidance.
Guidance. What does
I
that
get a
do?
D4.
You get a D4.
You can add a D4 to any check or save.
Right. So in terms of what
Alright.
you're trying to do, which is a stealth check, right? You would add a D4 to your roll. So
Okay.
you're going to try to stealth ahead
Uh-huh.
of your group. Are you going to try to stay within 30 feet? Like how are you working the mind link?
I'm gonna go ahead, and if something sketchy seems like it's gonna be a bad time for me if all by myself, I'll circle back.
Okay, fair enough. So go ahead and make a stealth check for me.
Oh, fuck me. Thank God I've got that fucking guidance. Let's try that. What was that, a D4?
It's a D4.
Yeah, roll a D4.
Kill me. All I got was 12.
Okay. So you
I have +6 to my stealth.
So you little.
So you forge ahead of your group, trying your best to follow at least what is the general direction of this zigzagged path. And it's not long before you come to an area that looks like it has been cleared out. There are all of the green, any of the trees, foliage, whatever around it has completely withered. You could see in this small clearing, and when I say small, I'm talking about we're talking about like a circle that is maybe 15 feet in diameter. You can see a group of different mushrooms that are growing in like a fairy circle, right? Blue, red, purple, yellow, green, orange. Um, and you see, like, standing directly in the middle of that circle, humanoid, probably just shy of 6 feet, long green cloak, hood up in the air. And as you kind of like get close to the edge of as you get close to the edge of the clearing, you step on a branch and it makes just a bit of a cracking sound, and you just hear, "Oh God, no thank you," and just poof, disappears. Like, steps into the middle of this circle of mushrooms and just disappears. Gone.
No, thank you. What? Because I'm not a real child? Ugh. How far away am I from the group?
You're probably only about 20 feet away from the circle.
Okay, so I'm gonna communicate what just happened telepathically to
Sure.
Squally here.
I
to
will
tell
say
her.
also very quickly that as soon as like whatever this person was sort of boofed away, all of the mushrooms that are around the circle immediately withered.
Okay. All right. Squally, I think it's safe over here.
Can I ask why you think it's safe over there?
I'm gonna just start walking back, angrily kicking sticks and branches and shit.
Yeah.
Being intentionally loud.
Yeah.
Throwing a temper tantrum?
Yes, I am, because that stupid clearing had a guy in it, and I stepped on a branch, and now he's gone.
Excuse me.
That's it.
Run that one back. There was
And
somebody
what?
there.
There was a circle. It was a fairy circle full of mushrooms and had all the different colors, all 7 of the rainbow colors. And they were all in a circle, and there was a guy just standing there, and he was really tall, and he had a green cloak on. And then I stepped on a branch, and he said, "Oh, no thank you. Like I'm not good enough because I'm not a real child for him to abduct like an asshole fairy."
You are projecting a lot right now. Like you're
Lot.
projecting a lot.
A lot of assumption in there. A lot of
Well, what else are you gonna do with a fairy circle? Don't they abduct kids or some stupid
What?
shit?
So, very quickly, Squally, you know that fairy circles serve a couple of different purposes, right?
Yeah, talk to me. I was
they
about to ask,
are-
like, what do I know?
Fairy circles are a focal point for magical energy, but they also often act as either permanent or temporary pass-throughs directly to the Feywild.
Okay.
Think about someone who's casting a teleportation circle,
Yeah.
but
Gotcha. Gotcha.
clears the ground as they go out through the door.
I want to go look at this.
Sure.
You want to go look at what? The
No,
dumb
like-
dirt?
Guys, this is a Fae thing, obviously, because hey, why the fuck else am I here? But I feel like I should go look.
Look
Maybe
at what?
it's familiar. The fucking circle you were just at.
The circle's empty now. There's no mushrooms left. There's no
It-
guy there.
It's still about the most interesting thing nearby.
Also,
Well, yeah, we're in the woods.
do I recognize the description of the person, or like?
I mean, the description is vague-ish. So, I mean, it's, tall, humanoid, green cloak. That could be anyone or anything.
How tall?
Probably just shy of 6 feet. That's what I described
Shy
to
of
her,
6
so
feet.
that's not a...
Oh yeah, I missed that part. I wrote down a lot, but not that one.
That's fine.
Okay. Shy of 6 feet.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. I want to go look at it, guys. Like, maybe I'll see something that I'm like, hey, that's a thing that this very wounded child would not recognize.
right.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine. I'll lead you to it.
Try not
Stupid
to
empty
touch any
circle.
mushrooms. Yeah.
There weren't any mushrooms left.
So it's not that there weren't any mushrooms left, it's that they all sort of wilted. Right. So
Oh,
like
okay.
when you go back and look at it, Squally and whoever is going back with her, you could see where there were mushrooms, but they are completely desiccated, wilted.
Are they
sort of-
dried?
Yeah, dried and sucked in upon themselves. You could still see like the shape of a circle where they were there. They still maintain their colors, although all their colors are a bit muted. You know, the vibrant blue, red, purple are all sort of it looks like they all have a bit of a gray wash to them, as though the life literally had been sucked out of them, and they're just a husk of what they were.
But they still have the color. Like,
But
okay.
the color is still apparent.
Like
I
little
said,
veins in it?
It's just very muted. You know, instead of like a bright, vibrant blue, it's kind of just like a very dull, sort of faded blue.
And we said the blue was okay.
Yeah.
Maybe had transmutation.
Mhm.
I'm gonna touch one of the dry blue ones.
Okay. You reach forward and touch one of the mushrooms, and nothing happens other than it just sort of crumbles under your touch.
Okay.
And it doesn't crumble into a pile of like dried vegetation. It almost crumbles to ash. It has a consistency different than what you would expect.
I was kind of hoping that me and Sil could like have a journey later,
Yeah.
but looks like it's just gonna fall apart.
Bummer about that.
I don't know, right? Anything else about the circle? Like, does it look like a teleport? Like,
Make an
does it
investigation check.
look investigation? Now I'm not as good at that as I am survival, but Sindri, I miss you all the time. That's an 8.
8. Okay. No, I mean, you've seen these before, right? You've seen these used as you've seen these before. They're kind of common in the Feywild. Like people use these even to just travel from like house to house, right?
Okay.
Okay. They're not as common on this side insofar as you haven't seen one prior to just now, and you're not sure how the mushrooms that you've seen prior to now differ from them, what you would associate with a typical fairy circle, if that makes sense. But the configuration, the size, the diameter of it, how like the area around it is seemingly like almost perfectly cleared, it stands out to you as being common.
All right.
And that's
I'm
being
gonna
generous
like
only because you've had experience with these before.
Yeah. No, trust me, I know. I'm gonna disseminate my information, my expertise on this, and kind of tell them all what I think about it.
So somebody noped out of here. Huh?
They literally said nope, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And we have a strong feeling now that they are a Fae.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never trust a Fae.
Hey.
And it definitely impacts these mushrooms because they left and now they're dried, shriveled, ashy things.
Well, I mean, if it was a component to be used in a powerful spell, then it kind of makes sense. Soon.
Yeah. I wonder if this guy was sitting back here in the woods the entire time, though. Like, I wonder about the other ones out in front of the place now, the big giant ones. Are they still there? If he went
Do
back
they have
to
to be? Do they have to be circles to transport stuff?
So
generally circles,
Horkran, I'd
like
say
not
you
even.
probably even Horkran, you probably even have a little bit of knowledge of this
Probably.
too. Yeah, they're typically set up as circles because you know it's like any other, it's like any kind of other teleportation circle, right? It's like entering the or crossing the threshold into the circle is sort of the magical field. It really is like a pass between or go between 2 points, right? It's you know, you kind of step into one spot and come out in another. Now, typically speaking, when you step into a fairy circle, you come out at another fairy circle someplace else. Theoretically, you know where that fairy circle is when you step into it. But in this case, you know, it's destroyed, seemingly unable for you to use.
Okay, so it's like destroyed, like defunct, like it's over.
Yeah, so I mean, again, fairy circles, it's a type of spell, it's a type of magic that is
Okay,
specific
okay.
to the Feywild, that is specific to mushrooms in particular. And it's normally sort of, again, it's a threshold type of situation, right? You have to
Yeah,
cross
okay.
into a magical barrier or go across a magical threshold in order for you to transport or travel. With the mushroom seemingly destroyed and desiccated, that magic is no longer active. I mean, especially because you walked right into it, right? And didn't bamf anywhere. So,
Yeah.
and Horkran,
Alright.
for you, you know, they immediately wilted after after whoever it was you saw disappeared. So it's
Yeah.
like they went through, were able to activate whatever it was it was
But
utilizing,
my thing,
and then it wilted.
it can't ever be used again.
I mean, unless you can figure out a way to revive and reopen it, but
Oh, but if somebody came with a bunch of mushrooms and was like, "Hey,
potentially.
okay,
But
all right,
I would say Squally, that you know that, like, if you're a powerful enough magic user, like pretty high up there, you could create a fairy circle almost anywhere. It doesn't
yeah,
have to be in a unique spot. It just, you have to be powerful enough to handle that type of magic.
all right,
You know, it's not something that Joe Farmer, you know, in the Feywild is creating on the down low. It is a very sort of specific type of magic that is
yeah."
special to, you know, higher.
Remember, I'm not
use magic
actually
agencies.
Fey creature either. I just live
No, I
there.
know, but you've
So
had enough
no,
experience
I'm just making sure
there.
everybody
Yeah,
else knows.
you've had enough experience there, and Horkran, you as well, right? You've had enough experience there. You are Fey, but you know that, like, it's not like your ma's creating fairy circles, right? Like if they existed where you lived, it's because somebody else put them there and is letting you use them.
I bet my man mother could make a fairy circle.
Maybe, you never know.
I bet he could.
So as you are standing in the midst of this once, as you're standing in the midst of this once, you know, functioning fairy circle, teleporting whomever to wherever, you find yourself really with no progress in your investigation than you were before, other than you've picked up a couple of other, you know, bits of information. And unless there's something else anybody wants to do in the sense of immediacy, that's actually probably a decent spot to break. But you tell me.
Could
We
I
should all
use?
agree. We should all agree not to tell Neva about this yet. He might want to touch it.
I mean, I already touched it.
Yeah, but gods only know what could happen when he touches it. Might trip and break
Sure.
his
maybe
neck.
we let him take us to off-field to his contacts and then fill him in there.
Can I?
That sounds like a better idea.
Yeah, the only thing that I kind of want to do is see if I can tell if, like, I have a really good survival. My investigation kind of sucks. Can I see if it looks like anybody else has been through here? Like maybe some kids. That's it.
Make a survival check for me.
All right. That's a 21.
Okay, so with your survival check, you pick up on a couple of different things from, like, a tracking standpoint, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is seemingly a single set of footprints that looks as though they were confined to the interior of the circle.
Okay.
Like whatever was there stayed within the field of the circle.
Okay.
you pick up on what looks like a couple of smaller footprints, although they are sort of already starting to fade or be like washed away just by the natural wind pattern, because it's not really muddy, but it's dry.
Okay.
It looks like it could be maybe 2, maybe 3 sets of smaller size humanoid footprints, potentially a child.
Okay.
And you see in the rubbish of some of the collapsed mushroom that you had touched in particular, you find a single strand of long red hair.
What color red? Like red or like
Red hair, long red
orange?
hair.
There's so many colors of red, sir.
Come on,
I would
say
say
red.
I would say that it is like a fiery reddish orange almost.
Okay. All right.
It's bordering on an unnatural red.
Okay. All right. You know, like my hair, even though you can't see it in the stream, my hair is orangish red
No,
right now.
this is like
But-
this is red.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Anybody else?
And I'll of course tell everybody what I saw. So, or what I have.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Squally communicates with the rest of you what she has seen and discovered. And as the lot of you are standing here in the midst of this now collapsed face circle, as the sky begins to darken and sunset is rapidly approaching, we will end tonight's session and pick back up next time, right here in the middle of the woods, north of Trostenwald. So thank you to all of us for hanging out with us tonight. We are not here next week, correct?
Ugh.
Yeah, correct. I'm
Right.
out for sure.
So we're not here next week, but we should be here the week after that. And then we'll see what our holiday schedule looks like. But thank you so much for those of you who hung out with us tonight. For those of you who are watching on YouTube, I apologize for the problems last week. I'm going to get that corrected. You should see last week's episode tonight or tomorrow, and you'll see this week's episode by Wednesday. Yeah, we won't be here next week, but we'll be back the week after that. So thank you, everybody. Remember to take care of yourselves. Know that we love you. Don't forget to call your mom. And we'll see you again soon. Peace out.
Bye.
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 Bye.